Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are here today with our Motivation and Mindset Monday, the episode that starts the week every week, hopefully giving us the inspiration and motivation to move forward to living our best life. And that's really what it's all about. It's not trying to live someone else's best life. It's not trying to get out there and do something that you don't even feel is possible, but simply moving one step forward to the future of your dreams. So when I share that with many people, and I share that, of course, whether it's speaking at a seminar anywhere in the world, it might be with our IHPs, it could be with anyone that I'm talking with. What I'd like to share with them is that the first step to moving forward and living the life of your dreams is simply being open to possibility. So what I want to talk with you today about, it's called an appreciative inquiry. And what we do is when we work with a private client or something that we're teaching inside of IHP Mastery is to get people to be open. And if you are not open to change, if you're not open to believing in possibility, it is difficult to really change your life. Because the first principle for change in anything that you do is simply changing a part of what you currently do. That means that if you wake up every single day and you go through the same motions day in and day out, you eat the same foods, you talk to the same people, you read the same information, nothing's going to change. You've set into alignment a path that gets you to a specific destination on a daily basis. And again, that might be a great thing. My goal for everyone is to set up a routine that you actually do keep reinforcing the results that you're getting. But if you're getting results in your life that you don't like, that you're not happy with, something has to change with the habitual routine. And that means that there are people, there is information, there are actions that you take, thoughts that you have, feelings that you feel that are going to need to be replaced with new ones. Because if we don't break the cycle, we don't break the cycle of results. Because the results are always the same because they're predicated on our actions, and our actions go back to how we feel and what we think. If we begin to think differently, all of a sudden, possibility is open to us. So what we try to do, how we try to help people is this. I want them, and I want coaches. If you're a coach out there, if you're a doctor, a personal trainer, a nurse, a therapist, whatever your specific role may be, it could simply be a parent talking to a child. It could be you talking to you. I'm the biggest advocate of that is simply self-awareness. Is you want to think about like this. There are lots of different types of therapy and many of them are absolutely fantastic. But we don't practice therapy in our natural health coaching-based modalities. What we want people to do is simply focus on a positive-based outcome. It's just the simplest first step we can do. So instead of dwelling on why do you think you're in a bad mood, why do you think you have low energy, we'll start the question. We might start the inquiry process with what gives you energy in life right now? Or what gives you energy when you start to think about it? Now, you'll see people start to move in that direction towards their dreams. But you'll also see some people cut them off very quickly with saying things, but that could never happen to me. Or nobody in my family could ever achieve that. Or that's just not possible given the situation that I'm in right now. Those are all of the limiting beliefs that continue to resurface. But it's also the reason why that person is not able, willing, or will ever see their goal come to fruition until they change that subconscious mindset. So again, we go into it, and then there's 5 main principles, but this is extremely important to think about it this way, is that there are certain phrases that have been around for thousands of years, and they're not by mistake. I mean, they've been handed down for again, thousands of years, but it's been handed down and around through various cultures and different forms of philosophy for a reason. And they always said this. They always said, as within, so without. Now, to me, that didn't make a lot of sense at first until I had it explained to me. And then I realized, okay, I get it. As within, meaning not who I am, but who I am and how I feel and how I think at a deep subconscious level. So many of us have programming. We have wiring set into our subconscious mind that allows us to live the life that we're at right now. And that subconscious mind is there to protect us. But oftentimes, it's typically before the age of 8, we've gotten all this programming already set within us. So we believe that we can enjoy a certain level of happiness, a certain level of great relationships, a certain level of finances or money, a certain level of health, a certain level of body. All of these things have been essentially written in our subconscious mind, and then they play out in life and they get reinforced to what we believe. So we often find situations or we find ourselves in relationships or, again, any predicament in life that reinforces what we already believe. And we said, oh, see, there it is. Because we're also programmed to look for those things. What we're not programmed to look for is often things that would change our inner reality. But we have to understand is that as within, so without. So if that's what we believe we can achieve, it's what we will see in our life. Now, a lot of people say, but that's not how I want to live. Of course, I don't want to be in this unhappy spot. I get it. I was there for many years. I was there until, let's say mid to late 20s. I was successful in certain areas of my life, but not in others. Not in many areas. Not in my health. I would say not in relationships really outside of my close friends and my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I would say successful in doing exactly what I wanted to do for my career. I was moving forward. I enjoyed my work. So, maybe a pass on that one, but not exactly where I wanted to be for sure. I was working 15 hours a day. So I wouldn't say I was exactly where I wanted to be. Maybe in body transformation, I was working hard on that. That's something I could control. But for sure, I wasn't where I wanted to be. Spirituality-wise, in all of my relationships, in all of my life, not my health. So things had to change. And I went to work simply on myself. It was one of the biggest things that I can recommend for anyone else, and it was taught to me. Of course, I didn't stumble upon this by accident. I went out searching for it. I would read books about it. People would talk with me about it, and after a while, of course, I didn't believe it. I was skeptical, and then I would say, well, what do I really have to lose? And it comes down to the understanding that this is a great quote as well. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that's the truth, right? It comes down to, if you believe you can do something, you will be able to do it. You will figure it out. But if you don't believe you're able to do it, you probably won't even start. And I think I don't know if it was Henry Ford who said that, but that quote's, again, been around throughout the ages. Another one that I love is this: knowing and becoming are interwoven. So if you begin to truly understand something, meaning you demystify it, you move that much closer just by thinking about it, understanding, to becoming it. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you never understood why you had low thyroid-based issues. I was just doing an interview with one of the founders of Dry Bar. I'll share that with you soon. This is Allie. She was on Shark Tank before. Really great person. And again, I'm not giving anything away. You'll hear it in the interview. We're talking about low thyroid and we're talking about thyroid-based issues. And I just started to share why your thyroid might be low in the first place. So I went on to speak about how low vitamin B6, how low selenium, how lower levels of zinc, how lower levels of iodine, all these could contribute to lower thyroid. Then I also explain how higher levels of cortisol, higher levels of stress, higher levels of heavy metals could all lead to lower thyroid as well. So once you start understanding that, you can actually shift your paradigm. You can go from believing like, well, maybe I have low thyroid not just because of genetics, and I'm putting that in air quotes, but actually because of a deficiency or a toxicity. And if I were to replace my deficiencies, and if I were to remove my toxicities, maybe, just again, opening up possibility, maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have low thyroid anymore. Makes a lot of sense, right? Well, all of a sudden you start to know And what's the next step? You could test your thyroid, right? You could run a simple stress hormones, mood, and metabolism test. You could run a lab to look at heavy metals. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Okay, so now you know, are there deficiencies? Are there toxicities? And then what else could you do? Well, you could start to do a functional medicine detox. You could do a heavy metal detox. You could actually begin to remove these things from your body. Those are the next steps. If you know, you could then do, and then you get to get, right? You get to become the thing that you want. It's why I'm such a huge advocate of podcasts. I'm a huge advocate of reading. Again, let's go back 20 years. 20 years ago, no podcasts. Reading, yes, but no Amazon. So what was I doing? I was just going to the library. It's what I had at the time. I also didn't have the money to buy all of the books, but I could certainly go to the library and read about adrenal issues, read about viruses, read about all these different things. And I could try to, again, speak with as many people as I could. That's all that I did. Then we have internet, great. So now I'm working with dial-up, all these different things. It takes a little while longer. But I have a little bit more money because now I'm working now. So I'm able to buy books on Amazon or wherever it might be, Barnes & Noble, which I used to shop at all the time. So then that starts to increase my knowledge. And as I'm increasing my knowledge, what am I doing? Well, I'm increasing possibility because I read in these doctors' books and other health practitioners' books about how they've helped people before. And this is how they have helped them. So now I'm looking forward to what? The more positive, because I'm not focused on my current place in life. I'm now focused on a future me, which is one of health, which is one that lines up with what these doctors and practitioners are talking about in their book. So this is why we have to really move beyond what we see in life, right? Because what we see in life is really through the eyes of a specific person with a specific perspective. And if that perspective is reinforced day in and day out through the subconscious mind, one that it believes that you are right now, it's difficult to see anything else. We all have different realities. That's what we have to understand. My reality is different than your reality. Now, we could have shared viewpoints, but we see the world differently because we were brought up differently. We have different programming in that way. But what we have to understand is this. We all have our own unique strengths and abilities. We all have our own unique versions of our dreams and desires. But there's only a few different ways that we can get to those. And the biggest thing that I continually go back and ask people is this. What is it that you truly want? And what we do, and this is part of the inquiry process, is I want you to think about it like this. At first, don't ask yourself what it is that you think you can achieve. That's where most people go wrong. I mean, it's one of the biggest mistakes, if not the biggest mistake that I've seen. People censor and limit themselves. I mean, the world wants to do that to you. Family members want to do that to you. Partners want to do that to you. Why would you do that to yourself? You're supposed to be on your side. So I want you to think about it like this. Don't go for what you believe you can achieve. That is the second step. The first step is this. What is it that you would like? Most people never answer that question. And you have to go through the big five that I call right now. Not the big five labs, but the big five areas of your life. And it's this. Most things can fit into this. What do you want your health to be like? Okay? Think about it. It's your energy. It's your focus. It's your drive. It's your overall health in both mind and body. What do you want it to be like? Write it down. If you're not driving, pause the podcast. Write down what you want your health to be like. The second part, go into the body. What do you want your fitness to be like? What do you want the shape of your body to be like? What do you want your overall strength to be like? Anything to do with your physical body, because it's important. It really is. That body is what carries you through life. And it's why I go back to all these Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday podcasts. Get to a healthy body weight. Get to a healthy body weight. Get to a healthy body weight. Here's why. It's never about vanity. I mean, people look great above their body weight. People can look great below their ideal body weight, which I say is balanced for your body. It has nothing to do with that. I say get to a healthy body weight. And the reason I say that is that you're going to have less chance for cancer, less chance for heart disease, less chance for type 2 diabetes, less chance for high blood pressure, stroke, okay? Less chance for wear and tear on the joints. You're going to have more energy. I could go on and on. More balanced hormones, less inflammation. All of those things are true. Those are the reasons why you want to be at a healthy body weight. And the reason why you want all the things that I just named is so that you can live a long, healthy, and happy life. Remember, it's more challenging. It's not that you can't be happy with a disease. You can be because you get to choose. But the issue is this. If you're dealing with cardiovascular issues, you're on medications, same with blood pressure, on medications, they zap you a lot of times of your energy. I mean, you can end up with cardiomyopathy, you can end up with calcium channel blocker or beta blocker, one of those things, and they can zap you of energy. You can be on blood thinners, it zaps you of energy. So here's what I want though. If we take care of ourselves, you have regulated healthy blood sugar, you're going to have more energy. You're going to have more life in your body. The two to go together. Energy and life go together. In traditional Chinese medicine, we call it qi. It's a little bit different. In Ayurveda, we have prana. There's different names for it in Ayurveda as well. We have a life force in us. Part of it's represented by energy. Not the only part, but that's it. How do you feel during the day in both mind and body? Extremely, extremely important. Take care of that body. Get it to a healthy body weight for what you are then able to achieve in life. You know, if your joints hurt and it's difficult going upstairs, all of those things, you're not going to want to get out there and live every different part of life possible. The next area is your career or what you do outside of all of your different obligations. Meaning, like, it'd be ideal if your career matched up with your passions and it's where you can make money, which gives you options in life, right? That's all that money really does. It gives you options. So it's good to have some money. It's not a bad thing. It gives you options in life, which means you can take that trip you wanted to take, you can travel, you can send kids to the schools that you want to go to, you can buy organic food, you can do all those different things. Money simply gives you options to do that. You don't need a ton of money, you need the right amount of money for you. But all of the things with career and work, all of them go together. Now, it's the best, it's literally like hitting the lottery in life, the real lottery, when you're able to do work that you love and you get compensated for it. You know, I believe that hopefully everyone is able to move into that. But let's say you have a job, it's not a job that you love, but it pays for your life. Okay, well, that's great too. Now, what's some passion that you could do, some passion work, right? Something you could do that you love to do, which helps balance maybe the work that you don't love, but it provides the life that you want. That's okay, that works too. And then let's go to relationships. Where in your relationships should they be for your dream of what great relationships can be, right? With parents, with siblings, with your spouse or partner, with your children, etc., right? Friends, all those great things. And the last part is spirituality. Do you feel a sense of connectedness? Do you feel connected with something larger in life? Call it God, call it universe, call it whatever you'd like. Whatever works for you in terms of spirituality. But what I want you to do is after each one of those that I've explained, don't go for what you think you can achieve. What you can achieve changes through life. Here's why. Let me go back for 1 second. Don't aim for what you think you can achieve. Aim for your ideal, for your dream. Okay, now here's why. Think about where you are today. I'm sure you've achieved some things that you didn't necessarily think were possible 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. What happens is this. We begin to achieve a certain level of success in a certain area, or we just simply get better at something. And then we realize, oh, well, there's another level that I can get to as well. Maybe it takes a little bit of work. Maybe it takes a little bit of time. Maybe it takes a little bit more knowledge or understanding, right? Well, then we achieve that. And so what we see is we are essentially climbing the ladder of life in any area that we choose to get better in. So when I say to you, don't choose what you think you can achieve, I say that because 3 years from now, if you start on a path now, well, you're going to be able to achieve much greater things. You'll be light years ahead, not just because of your physical ability to do something or a skill you might have acquired, but simply because of your openness and possibility. I mean, that's one of the greatest things that we try to teach people is that play off of your previous wins. You know, think about what great things have you accomplished already in life in any area. Like, what's something great that you've accomplished? Okay, well, if you did that, what did it take to get there? Did you have to learn something? Did you have to practice? Did you have to work on it? Or was it simply an innate strength? Well, if you had to work at it, you had to practice at it, you can take that discipline into anything that you want in life. Then if you were already great at it, well, that is a strength. That's a natural strength of yours. What else could you do in that area that might bring you greater accolades and rewards and whatever it is that you want in life, if that's part of what you want that makes you happy? So what I want to share with you is this. One of the greatest things that stifle our creativity in our own life, our ability to achieve new things, and ability to achieve our dreams, is simply limiting what we go after based on what we believe we can achieve. So the first step in achieving the exact life that we want, our best life, is to first think about what you would want by suspending disbelief. If you had all the money in the world, or you had all the ability in one area in the world, or you had all the free time, or whatever it is, what is it that you would want to achieve? If you knew you couldn't fail, that's another famous line. If you knew you couldn't fail, what is it that you would go after? And in all 5 areas of your life. And when we start to look at those things, you should not then just shrink back, but I don't have them or they're so far away. No. You should use that as that is what your heart is telling you. That's what inside of you is saying, this is what you are meant for. So then what do we do in that particular situation? Here's what we say. Great. That is what I desire. That is what my mind, body, or my heart tells me that I want in life. Now, don't immediately, again, go back to, but I can't achieve that because it would take this, this, and this. You would simply say, that is my dream goal. And then you begin to work the process. And I've talked about that on many other mindset and motivation Mondays. You simply say to yourself this. The first step is next. What do I need to be doing in order to achieve those things? Or someone who already has those things, what is it that they do? Or what is it that they did? All you're doing is asking more questions. Remember, the quality of our questions dictates and predestines us to what we will achieve in the future. Remember that. The quality of your questions predestines what you will achieve in the future. If you ask better questions, you will get better answers. If you continue that inquiry-based process, you will eventually find the answers you've been searching for. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to have you in this global health community. And of course, if this podcast was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to StephenCabral.com/resources.